What was it inside this 4,500-year-old parameter, 480 feet high from Salmon, that researchers sent a robotic camera inside the parameter just to see?
The robotic camera stopped at one place because there was now a stone slab in front of it. Researchers believed that there must be a secret hidden behind this slab, which has been buried for the last 4,500 years.
They had to know this secret at all costs. So they put a drill machine in front of the robot that drilled a fine hole in that stone slab. Now a camera was sent inside this chat, which saw a scene across the slab that no one had seen for the last 4,500 years. There are a total of 138 high terrene pyramids in Egypt, which has weathered dozens of earthquakes and many dangerous storms for the last thousands of years.
But I don't think any of them have ever gone from here to there.
The highest and largest of these is called the Great Pyramid of Giza, and the base area of this parameter is 13 acres. That means not just one or two, but the entire 9 football fields can fit comfortably inside this pyramid. According to an estimate, a total of 23 lakh large stones were used in this parameter, many of which weighed 50 tons. If its total weight is estimated, then the weight of this pyramid is 7 lakh tons, which is equal to the weight of Bara Burj Khalifa. But what was the ultimate purpose of building such high and luxurious pyramids? Thousands of years ago, when humans did not even have any tools, how were the walls of these pyramids leveled inch by inch? How 50 tons of sheets were cut into square shapes and transported to a height of 480 feet of bugger cranes?
And which engineers were involved in making these pyramids a proof of the meaning, as well as setting all their sides at an angle of 51.5 degrees?
You will be able to know all this in today's video. So let's get started. Challenge number 1. For many centuries, freelance research teams have been working on this. She sat down to know the construction technique of the pyramid and how each side of the pyramid would have been set up in the north, south, east, and west of the compass. Many experts believe that the architects of that time must have first found land that could withstand the weight of millions of tons of stones. After that, with the help of the polar stars, i.e., the stars with the help of which the poles of the Earth are detected, every side of the pyramid was marked. No compass and no optical instrument. Just with this basic technique, the direction of this pyramid was set thousands of years ago, and that too with 0 errors.
Challenge 2. The next challenge was to level the ground. If the level of the 13 acres of land on which this pyramid was to be built was even a little out, then it would not have been possible to stand this mountain of 23 lakh stones. Now, the engineers of that time did not have a laser leveler or bubble level to level this land. Experts believe that water must have been poured into the construction site by standing on all 4 sides, and then the water level on one side will be matched to the water level on the other side. The part of the land that does not match the water level will have been cut and leveled with the help of chains and hammers. Many experts believe that the enchanted Egyptians also used this simple tool. There is wood on both sides, and a stone is made of a rope right in the center. If the stone touches the ground and its rope is coming right to the center line, it means that the middle ground is perfectly leveled. Now the direction was also set on the pyramid construction site. The marking had also been done, and the level of the land was also set. Now it was the turn to start the construction, for which millions of tons of weight and big stones were required. But they did not have grinders or jackhammers to cut these stones. But still, he cut stones weighing 50 tons and gave them a square or rectangle shape. But with the help of whom? Yes, this was just the tool with the help of which the stones were cut. Experts believe that the chisel used on the construction of the pyramid was not made only from copper, because they also knew that copper is soft and cannot cut stones. Therefore, a chemical arsenic was also added to it. These chains, made from copper and arsenic, were hammered into the stones with wooden hammers, and after many hours of hard work, large stones were brought into shape. Challenge No. 4. This special type of stone, now called the limestone, was being harvested in the town of Tora, 250 kilometers from the paramount construction site Jaisa. Now the issue was to transport this stone to Giza. Each stone was equal to 50 tons, i.e. 50,000 kilograms, which is equivalent to the weight of 3 passenger buses. And 23 such stones were to be used in just one permiad. Neither any animal could be used in that rope to transport such a heavy load, nor did they have trucks. If this work has to be done in today's Jadid door, then the transport companies will have a good time. This work was done with the help of the debtor and the distressed at the Hertanj store. Yes, the river between the Tora and Giza was taken advantage of, and large quantities of stones were loaded and transported to the permit site. Experts believe that this task was not so easy. An army of at least 500 workers must have been deployed at the same time for loading and unloading such a large stone in the ships. The teams of experts who were researching the construction of the permit had now got answers to many of their questions. But one thing that haunted him all the time was that the limestone cuts, transports were also done, and during construction, one on top of the other. The issue was how the stones could have been transported to such a height. Many experts believe that this plan was done before the construction of the permit. Either they would have gone up through the spiral track or through the jig-jug carpet, but it is certain that 50,000 kg of stones must have been pulled up with the help of the army of workers. It was not just about millions of laborers cutting limestones with chisels and hammers and transporting such large stones. Inside this perimeter, the compartments, the way to their entrance, and many peaks also grow. Everything else was fine. But one thing surprised the experts, and that was that the stone used in the inner compartments was not limestone, but granite. Yes, granite is a stone that is considered to be the hardest stone in the world after diamond. Even in today's modern doors, granite cannot be cut without the help of big grinders. Many archaeological experts from all over the world were also given a visit to the permit. But no one could find a clue as to how the Egyptians cut such a solid leaf as granite so cleanly 4,500 years ago. Finally, after many years, the experts solved this mystery too. The Egyptians cut the garnite so neatly with a saw that had no teeth. Yes, weight was put on both sides of this saw with bugger teeth, and it was run on granite, and gravel was added in the middle. Experts believe that it would have taken 4 months to cut such a big stone in this way. After all, what was the purpose of creating permits? How many workers worked at the same time to build these permits and robotic? When the camera penetrated the stone slab inside the permit, what was the scene seen inside it, which no one had seen for the last 4,500 years? You will be able to know all this and more in part 2 of this video. Thank you very much for your loving comments and likes in the next great part of the video.